Well, welcome back. We begin this half hour with breaking news. A wildfire emergency in Southern California. Fast-moving flames fueled by whipping winds leveling neighborhoods in LA County, tearing through homes and businesses and forcing tens of thousands of people out of their homes. At least 4 fires have sparked since the flames first broke out yesterday. The largest one torching almost 3,000 acres in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood. The LA County Fire Chief says that wildfire destroyed more than 1,000 structures so far. That number expected to change. And it's something many longtime residents there say they have never seen before. Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency for that area. And it's important to note 2 other fires broke out late last night, not too far from the Palisades fire. The Eaton fire burning more than 2,200 acres. That number expected to change. Fire officials say that it's responsible for at least 2 fatalities and a significant number of injuries, so they wouldn't say how many yet. Now, the Hearst fire, that one burning 500 acres. That's also near the Angeles National Forest. Meanwhile, another smaller fire about less than 100 acres in size sparked earlier this morning. Fire crews still don't have any containment on any of these fires. And to give you some perspective, this is where they are. The 3 big fires we're talking about burning without about 40 to 50 miles of each other. The Eaton fire burning just northeast of the city of Pasadena. The Hearst fire burning close to San Fernando, and the Palisades fire just started to reach the Malibu area, an area still recovering from that other devastating fire that we covered back in December. So we go now to Malibu and CBS News correspondent Elise Preston, who is there live with the very latest. Elise, thank you for joining us. I hope you're staying safe. We just talked about it. This is happening just a month after the Franklin fire that burned in Malibu. What can you tell us about where you are standing and where the fire is from your perspective?
It is absolutely devastating, Liz. We are right by Malibu Canyon, and it's right behind me, as you can see, and the smoke is just billowing out and pouring. You can't see the flames from where we are, but right down this street, we drove down there, and it is just catastrophic. It just takes your breath away, right? Because it was just a continuous stream of homes that had been burned down to the ground, a continuous stream of structures. It's hard to even make out what they were, and this is an area where the homes are just beautiful, usually breathtaking to see, and your breath is being taken away for a completely different reason. It got too dangerous for our crew to go there, because what's happening is, I'm sure you can see this wind is blowing us about. Yes. The wind is carrying embers, and they're just dispersing these flames, which is making it a very difficult firefight. Liz, you can see they're getting people to not go further down the highway. These winds are incredibly strong. Some winds in Southern California were topping 100 miles per hour. There's a pipe right here that I'm trying to grab onto. I've covered hurricanes, and that's kind of what it feels like, those hurricane type winds. But instead of carrying water, they are spreading flames and fire.
And Elise, I know in your area, you're closest to the Palisades fire, which is the largest of these 3 major fires burning in LA County. I want to make sure you're staying safe, and I hope you can hear me. But what can you tell us about the evacuations? I know a lot of them got out last night. Is there anybody that crews are still looking for right now in that neighborhood?
So there are some people who are kind of around. We ran into some residents earlier. They said that they came down to check on their friends who lived in those homes, but they got out quickly. As you could hear, emergency vehicles just told people the road is closed. Right here, people are turning around. So we haven't seen too many residents in the last hour. Earlier, when we were driving down this street about 2 hours ago, there were a lot of cars that were kind of lined up. People left their cars there. People have been abandoning not only their homes, but their cars as they're trying to flee out. And just so you can get what they're escaping, it's not just the flames, right? Like you've covered so many wildfires. These winds are powerful. I don't know if you can hear right above me, but there is a street sign that is just kind of on its last leg. We've seen these giant street signs that are tumbling through the roadways. And this is just some of the dangers that people are trying to encounter as they're trying to flee to safety from the most obvious danger, flames.
Yes, absolutely. And those winds are just remarkable, Elise. My own family had to evacuate earlier this morning. They're closer to the fire burning near Pasadena right now. But, you know, one thing that is striking behind you, I see police cars, but I don't see a lot of fire trucks. And I can't imagine that fire crews are able to fly or really do much of anything right now in terms of fighting this fire.
So choppers are grounded. It is just too dangerous. The winds, as we mentioned, 100 miles per hour. I'm having a hard time just standing here, so I can't imagine flying a chopper. But the firefighters are really down this stretch is where you're just going to see a continuous stream of homes that are burned to the ground, a continuous stream of homes with flames that they're trying to battle. So we just saw about 20 minutes ago, even more firefighters going down this way. There's firefighters from 29 different departments just in this area. So it is a lot that they're trying to get a handle on, and the wind is not expected to die down anytime soon. So there's a lot of danger still ahead.
Yeah, and that fire moving so quickly. I heard a statistic earlier today, Elise, that it's covering close to the size of 5 football fields at least every hour or so. Do you have a plan for you and your crew to get out of danger if the fire comes closer to you?
So for us, we were down there. We were looking for a better vantage point because what we're showing you right now is smoke. We were trying to show you some of more of what we're seeing. And it was just too dangerous. We said we have to turn around because the embers and the flames are being carried so quickly by this wind. So when we're going into places, we're making sure that we're positioning our vehicles where we can drive out quickly, where we can't reverse, where we're not having to reverse. And our plan is just watching. It's a crew of 4 of us. We're kind of holding on to each other right now as the wind is just whipping about. And it's just being careful, being safe, listening to firefighters, listening to sheriff's deputies and police as they're also having other people just kind of be in this area as well.
Are they sending people to evacuation centers? What are police telling folks who may be confused and obviously very scared about this fluid situation? What are they telling folks who may not know where to go?
Well, there's tens of thousands of people impacted, as you mentioned at the top of this segment. And so there are several evacuation centers that are open. Some of the people in this area have been hooking up with other family members or friends who are in a different position. But there are several evacuation centers open. And as you mentioned, also, there are 4 separate fires, 3 that have really been kicked up and going for the last several hours. So across the area, there have been more resources that have been pouring out. There's a state of emergency. So there are a lot of resources that are kind of trickling down. I think at the moment, it's just kind of getting your bearings, right? When we were coming in earlier today, you could see a stream of people leaving. They did not leave yesterday. And it's just hard to imagine. You know, you work your entire life, you buy a house, you think it's in the most beautiful place you've ever seen. And then you're told that you only have minutes to leave and you have to leave everything behind. And a lot of people, they didn't just leave structures. They left homes filled with memories.
Absolutely, Elise. I mean, what they're going through right now is just traumatizing. It's devastating. And to give our viewers for CBS News Bay Area or CBS News 24/7, since we have viewers from all over the world and across the country, where she is standing is in Malibu, which is just underneath Pacific Palisades area, which is this beautiful area. It's a higher elevation above kind of the coastal area there. And what she's referencing is this very wealthy area, and a lot of the roads, what made a challenge for firefighters, but also evacuees, is that a lot of those roads in the Pacific Palisades area are very windy, and a lot of them go into dead-end areas. But it's worth noting the Palisades fire, it's the largest fire burning right now in LA County, but there's 2 other fires that we're covering. The other one, the Eaton fire, we saw KCAL's coverage of that earlier today, and it's just remarkable to see how those flames have just completely exploded across a pretty densely populated area. And we saw people kind of confused trying to get out because this fire just moved so quickly. The other fire we are covering is a hearse fire. That is in Sylmar. That's right next to the Angeles National Forest. It's a little bit more heavily wooded area, but there are still plenty of homes in that area. Millions of people have been told to leave their homes. Thousands of acres burned so far. We know of at least 2 fatalities. And again, all these numbers are expected to evolve over the coming hours and days.